Thank you, Kim, and welcome everyone to the May meeting of the Durham Region Branch. And welcome to all of our returning and new members. I have to click that again. Yeah, there we go. Got my transition to work. Welcome those of you who are not members, and I hope you really like our presentations. This is our agenda for the evening. I'm going to do some announcements and news. Then we have Bob Dawes with the main presentation. I'm going to do a little 5-slide thing about the latest Ancestry DNA tool. And then we'll go into upcoming meetings and have that detail up for you. Just a hint again, when you want to talk to someone, you either pick everyone, and you can pick everyone, and down here at the bottom, you can click on the down arrow and you have a choice between everyone, Ontario ancestors who you would contact for any technical problems, and then one called questions, and then it has my name in brackets behind it. And that's where you're going to put in your questions and comments for the speaker. Moving on, we've got some local news. I mentioned this last time, but it's coming up in 2 days. And if you've ever thought about writing a book, a representative of Friesen Press is giving an introduction to self-publishing at the Uxbridge Public Library. And you can be either in person if you're local, or contact Ian Kershaw at this email, and he'll send you the Zoom link. Also in local news, the Oshawa Museum is offering monthly cemetery tours this summer at Oshawa's largest cemetery, that's Union Cemetery. And each month they're going to do a different section or a theme, sharing stories of well-known citizens and everyday people who made up Oshawa's community. It's 2 p.m. on the second Saturday of May through August. Cost is $5 or free for members of the Oshawa Historical Society. So if you want to attend them all, I recommend you join the Oshawa Historical Society. They are drop-in, or you could register in advance on an Eventbrite, and I will put that link in later in the chat. Speaking of cemeteries, we have a new cemeteries coordinator, Janice Carter, and she would like to recruit some more volunteers for updating some of our cemeteries, which is a wonderful summer job. You get to go out in the fresh air and you don't even have to worry about COVID germs. Our research team's still available to work on your Durham Region problems, and we can even do it right from our library with the over 3,600 items that we have in our library. And they're looking a little bored, the research team. They're not getting very many questions, so now's your chance to get in there. We're also looking to have a library virtual drop-in session. It's going to be Thursday, May 19th at 11:30 a.m. And we can answer general questions. We can answer specific questions. We can look up references. It's going to be about an hour, and keep your eye on our website, Facebook, or blog for the Zoom sign-up link, because I don't have it just yet. Don't forget the OGS conference 2022. It's virtual. It's June 24th to 26th. The speakers in the program are up on the website, and it's a great lineup. The website is conference2022.ogs.on.ca, and you can sign up there. Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday is $79. My Heritage is holding a workshop day on Friday which does have an extra charge of $25, and you register separately. Actually, what you do is you go to the registration link, and then you click both icons and put it in your shopping cart. It's very easy. Now, all the recordings are going to be available to view until the end of July. So I'm really looking forward to this. Instead of only being able to watch one person per time segment, you can see all of the great lectures that's going to happen. So joining us today is one of our favorite speakers, Bob Dawes. He is presenting Scotland from Abroad, the next level. Bob gave us the original Scotland from Abroad in April 2016, and it is preserved on our YouTube channel. But there have been so many advances in the last 5 years for Scottish research that Bob has created the next level. Bob is a retired technology industry executive who got turned on to genealogy in the early 90s. He enjoys combining technology and travel to research. Bob and his wife, Barbara, also an avid genealogist, have traveled throughout North America, the United Kingdom, in pursuit of their ancestors. I met them down in Salt Lake City once. They're definitely conference junkies. Their most recent trip was Scotland for 35 days in 2019, and don't we wish we could be doing that again, Bob? And they filled in for the staff at the Buchan Family History Center in Peterhead for a week. Bob is the past chair of Quinte Branch, OGS, and has given presentations to many branches and conferences. And thank you, Bob, for giving us the next level. So I will stop sharing and my video and let you take over.
Okay.
And on to my little did you know section of our presentations. Ancestry DNA has announced a brand new technology that they are calling side view. So if you have an Ancestry DNA test, you need to go back in and have a look. Using this side view technology, they released side view ethnicity. And what they have done is they've split out from your DNA, parent 1 from parent 2. Now, if you have this done at other sites like GEDmatch, this is called phasing. But most of the other places, you need to have a parent's kit in order to do this. But Ancestry DNA has, I think it's 21 million tests in their database. And by using all those tests of all your matches compared to you, they have been able to split out the both parents. But first, let's show you where you can find this. So when you log into the DNA section of the Ancestry website, you come to your overview page. And this is where you need to click on the button called Discover Your DNA Story. When you get there to your lovely map, you need to scroll down below the ethnicity estimates, which is, they've just released brand new ethnicity estimates as well, along with this feature. And as you can see, I've recovered all my Norway, Sweden, and Denmark ethnicities that I had lost in the last 3 or 4 iterations. You scroll down underneath to the box called Ethnicity Inheritance. There you're going to find your pie chart broken into segments labeled in parent 1 and parent 2. But click on the View Breakdown button to see this in more detail. And this is what you find. But let's take it section by section. So on the left, you see a pie chart divided in half, one side labeled parent 1, other side parent 2. There's no way to tell which is the father and which is the mother. In fact, I've looked at my siblings and it isn't consistent as to which one, is on the right and which one's on the left. I've heard rumors that parent one is supposed to be the father. Not true. The colors of the segment match the map, but the color dots on those labels are hard to distinguish, but it's not really a problem because you can just go click on one or more regions to see the highlights come up. Some people are really lucky and have very distinct ethnicities on one side of the family or the other, and they can quickly figure out which parent is mother or father. But unfortunately, I am very homogeneous, and I can't quite tell which one's mom and which one's dad. But one thing I do know is my percentage of Scotland has almost doubled, and my Ireland is getting pretty small. So that may be a factor of the Ulster plantation in Northern Ireland, but I'm not sure why that has happened. If I knew where this Norwegian ethnicity came from, then I could pick mom and dad, but no idea. Perhaps it is reflecting my Yorkshire heritage. My Chapmans came from Yorkshire, and if you ever have a chance to go to York in Yorkshire, they have a wonderful Viking excavation you can go through because York was a Viking colony at one point. So this technology will work for about 90% of the people, but not for those whose parents are related to each other or who are in endogamous populations like Jewish or French Canadian. Now you go further down, you get a chart showing bar graphs, which I think are a little bit easier to view. So parent one plus parent two equals you. That also means that the half of parent one and parent two that you didn't get is not reflected in these bar and pie charts. Well, one thing you can ask is, how do they do it? They do it by using your matches. So your maternal relatives share some DNA segments with you, so do your paternal relatives. And by piecing together that DNA that your matches share with you and each other, this side view technology groups your DNA by the parent. And I've had people say it's fairly accurate. Once that's done, then they go and test the ethnicities of the DNA in both groups. And that shows you which regions you inherited from each parent. And it's because they have 21 million people in their database. So they can provide this without testing your parents. So it's really cool. And the cool thing about this is that apparently it's just the tip of the iceberg. Right now, they can't tell which parent is your mom and which is your dad, but it's rumored that they're going to give us the ability to label which parent is which, if you can figure it out. And more is coming. This is so much potential, and I'm so excited to see where this will lead. Wouldn't it be great if they could split your match list into parent one and parent two, not just your ethnicity? So this is quite exciting. If you have any questions for me, just put it into the chat and I will get to it after some of these upcoming meeting slides that I'm going to show. Our next meeting is an introduction to GEDmatch with Mags Galden, 7th of June, which is the first Tuesday. Other meetings that we've got lined up, we have Jane McNamara in September for Ontario's Records of Inheritance on Family Search. In October, I'm working on a deal for someone to talk about Durham Region newspapers, and that should be hashed out pretty soon. November, we've got Elaine Levert from the Ajax Public Library. She's going to tell us all about Bomb Girls, the life at the DIL plant, Defense Industries Limited plant in Ajax, and maybe even a little bit about the mini-series Bomb Girls. So we'll have to see what she has to tell us. Just to go back to that for a minute, I've got planning going on for the next 12 months. So if you have a topic you really would like to hear, and we haven't done it in a while, put it in the chat, or you can email me later at durhamchair@ogs.on.ca with your suggestions, and it would be really appreciated. The DNA Special Interest Group is meeting May 18th. So email me if you want to join the private group. Did you know that OGS has a family tree maker users group? And the next meeting is on Tuesday, May 31st at 2 p.m. And the link to sign up is on the OGS events calendar. That leads to the OGS monthly webinar. It's in 2 days, and it is Daniel Horowitz from MyHeritage, and he's going to be talking about genealogy for sale, researching in auction houses. And he says that every day, hundreds of historical treasures go on sale at websites like eBay and BidSpirit and other ones. And you may strike it lucky and find an artifact related to your own family. And you may also discover objects that can give context to your family's lives. As always, I'd like to mention we've got opportunities for volunteers. Stacy, our Tony coordinator, needs more people to help get all our cemetery indexes up onto the Ontario Name Index. We've added about 11 new cemeteries onto Tony in the last month, and we've got another 6 or 7 waiting to go. And if you have a particular cemetery you're interested in, the bonus is that we will provide you with the cemetery recording in order for you to type the index into an Excel spreadsheet. We also need a social media volunteer. And that's to take some of the burden off me trying to be cute on Facebook and stuff. If you appreciate what our branch is doing, don't hesitate to go to our main page and look for our donation button. This is our contact information. And I'm just going to go and look at the chat now to see if there's any questions from my presentation. I'm just going to stop my share. Okay, so Marion says, at the beginning you talked about joining the library. Could you give that info again? I'm not quite sure whether that's for me or for Bob. And
if she meant joining the the National Library of Scotland,
yes,
if she goes to their website, NLS, I think it's nls.org.uk. It's on my handout. It's right on the home page where you can join and sign up for a library card, if that's what she meant.
Well, that fits in beautifully. So thanks very much, Bob. Bob Bell says I have a half sister who has been tested as well by Ancestry. That made it easy to figure out which parent was which. Bob, you are so lucky. Cindy said, thanks for the new Ancestry overview. I had not looked at this yet, and I can pretty much pick out which side is my mom and which is my dad. as my dad has a large Irish section and my mom does not. Again, Cindy, I'm envious. And someone else has said, thank you, Nancy, and that's great. So at this point, I would like to say thank you to everyone who has come. And I really hope you enjoyed such a wonderful overview that Bob gave us. I did put in the chat that Bob's presentation is going to be in our members only section of our website in a couple of days. We have to process it first. And don't forget to go up on that link and get Bob's handout. It's just chock full of great URLs. And thank you again to everybody for coming, and that's a wrap.